Well, it seems that everything is ready, cleaned, oiled, prepared with new bearings and everything, so that it can go into the vertical head. Alrighty, so let's put the first shaft in, and it needs some tightening still, because the shaft was not pulled all the way down in here, but that can be done. All right. So no force on the bearings. Turns very nice. So this is already in there. You can see. That feels really good. Okay. So next up is this part here. I will be putting in the other bevel gear, and after this I think I will put the head on the machine again, because then it's a lot easier to bring the spindle in. But so far I want to be able to turn the bevel gear transmission by hand and see if I can already adjust the height of the two, actually of the one bevel gear assembly that is sitting in here, so that they mesh well into each other. The new bearings are quite hard to move, so let's see what happens. Okay, that is too tight, so we'll put the push. I really feel the teeth biting on each other, so we can start loosening the big ones and tightening in the smaller ones to see. So let's do half a turn. Let's see if that is probably too much. So it turns smoothly now. Still making noise. So let's see if that stays for another half turn. Now it has really some play. We'll get a bigger screwdriver. Try to tightening these guys a little more. And see how it feels. Pretty good. No big play. Let's see where we are. Feels good. Final check. Feels good. All right, so next up, putting this thing back on. Feels good. This screw goes in here, and I damaged a little bit the slot here, and I thought, okay, I'll just hit it a little bit with the file. Nope, hardened. That feels good. That should fit here. And it also looks like someone had tried to scrape something here. We will see how good it is once it's mounted. It's putting it on. Not too much. So I would guess try to see how it sounds, huh? It's all tight, it's all good. Let's see, let's give it a try. First go slowly. See what happens on the highest speed. That's a very good impression. I love it. So these screws need to get in there before all this stuff is mounted, because then you cannot reach them anymore. Next up is bringing in this thing here. And I think I will use the threaded bar that I had. And this is the outer roller bearing that needs to go 10 millimeters deep into the housing to be properly aligned here with this upper part of the bearing. And here you can see 10 millimeters must be the position of the outer ring. So we will drive it in and see, probably with the caliper. I don't think that it is super important to have this measurement, down to hundreds of a millimeter, because that has some tolerance in height. But I will try to get it as good as possible. Okay, makes a good impression. Let's that is a lot more controlled than hammering it in. 7.16. Okay, so 1.5. Let's see where we are. 10.1. I think I can push it up a little bit. A 17th of a turn. So this is 90, this is 45. Oh, that's it. Ah, 10.01. As good as it is possible with this thing, but I think that's good. Okay, so I think the next thing is the spindle. That's supposed to be going in, and I'm planning on, hopefully this works, planning on just pushing it in with this thread here. Spindle grease here. It should slide in. Let's see. Need to lower the table. So this one is not needed for putting it in. This is only for finally adjusting the play here in the tapered roller bearing. So we bring it all up, and I really don't know. I hope that this is actually working. If not, I will need a ring that you know pushes here on this outer, and then use the table probably. Let's see if that then is doing the trick. Very nice. It's biting. So it is as easy as that. I reckon we actually do that by hand. It's interesting. And this is now the play that needs to be set to, according to the manual, 0.02 of a millimeter. Actual play 0.005 to 0.01 millimeter, so 0.05 to 0.10 of a millimeter. How do we pull it up? Probably using the gear. Let's see. Okay, this is about 0, and we can, how far can we pull it up? That's too much. That's about 0.05 of a millimeter. Zero. Oh, there it goes down. Probably I will put the indicator not on the table, but here, solid to the machine. It's about 1. Probably a little tighter, not much. Now it's 0, and we can pull it up about half. Beautiful. Yeah, it's about half. Let it run a little bit and then see how that goes. Once a year, 250 grams once a year in there, so it's about half this thing that needs to be in there finally. Let's get the other gear, see what happens. And it was not too tight, but also not too loose when I had it removed, so put it in slow gear. Well, let's make some chips, huh? I'm really excited to see how well it's doing. I know that it will be throwing chips all over the place. had funny sounds from the head before I changed the bearings. Now it's very smooth. Big success. But so far, one big step forward is now with the head here, having new bearings. All in all, it was about 70 to 80 euro material, counting the grease, counting the bearings. Oh, that's okay for a brand new moving parts here in there, and it really was worth it. Also removing the drawbar, cleaning all that up and knowing what's inside there, removing all the rust, and yeah, now we can go on with the next things that need to be done with this machine.